You can't. We're not magicking stuff today. Okay? 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 We'll do magic stuff later. Oh, why do I always think that you're flirting with me when you... What? Nothing. It doesn't matter. Watch the replay for it. It's 2 seconds. Did I get readings done last night? No. Did anything happen last night? No. We'll discuss later. Oh, you just built. Oh, so I look like shit. Thank you, Sassy. God. You fell asleep at 7:30 last night? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's all right. Covers what needs to be covered. So I figure we'll chit chat for a few minutes, then we'll just jump right up in it. And anyone comes in, and we're hitting different time slots here. Still not a big fan of the 8:30, 9 o'clock slot. I'm writing it all down too, because I have to have a better way to run this. And then I also have to learn how to to set up the thing to where you go live, but you send it as a notification. That one's a little tricky. Yes, I look great. Love the shirt. Well, when you come up here, you can borrow it. God knows your tanks are bigger than mine. No. So like like I set it up for a certain time, and then it will go onto my community post and that kind of I don't know. I'm figuring out. Yeah, kind of. But just know that said person is going live at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time type situation. Yeah. Speaking, you have the availability to pin things in the chat. We got to figure out how to do that too. Yes, you do. And explain one thing to me. How is it that I live in a house full of girls, can't find the nail polish remover? I have that shit in droves. Can't find one of them. It's irritating me. Oh, I know where to find all my makeup at. I just go look at my little mini me and her stuff, and I find stuff that I ain't been able to use for months. And then I send her a text. So why is it that you had this? Why didn't you ask? These, yes, they are. And welcome. They most certainly are. All 12 signs of them. Frustration and ugly color schemes on some of them. Oh, Sash, you know, I raged about some of those, especially the earth signs with all the oh my God. All the browns and the greens and in different shades of green and brown. And look, I love doing them. I have hundreds that I've done. And I'm working on one right now that's bamboos. And again, I'm back to that color scheme of browns and greens. So it's irritating. So there's been some that have different colors because I start and I think, okay, well, I see that this is number whatever, and it's not because they don't make the print on it bright enough or big enough. You're going to put black print on a brown color. No, we ain't doing all that. So AD, I have to ask you this, even though it is stated in my bio. I hope that you are above the age of 18. Just get that out of there right away. You're going to have to move, huh? You're going to have to move. Yeah, I know. You got to move. All right. Got things to do. Bye-bye. Go lay down. Okay. So this is a continuation of yesterday's live of understanding the major cards, okay? And we are on the first one, which is the Magician. Yesterday we did the Fool, okay? And there's going to be a lot of similarities. A lot of the majors have the background of the yellow. There is a reason for it, and we will get into that the further that we go. All right, so today, like I said, we are focusing on the history and the meanings and whatever it is that has to do with the Magician, so that people who come in here know what it is that I do in here, and they'll have a better understanding of the cards as they pertain to a specific question that they're asking, okay? So there's alternate names, the Magnus, the Juggler, but mostly you'll see him as the Magician, okay? He is the first card in your journey. We discussed today that the Fool is the 0, the beginner, so he doesn't have any practical numbering to him because it's where you start at. So the Magician is number 1. There's no astrological sign attached to this, but there is a planet, and that planet is Mercury. The meaning is creativity. The chakra is the palm chakra is for manifesting, okay? So, yeah. The key meanings: action, creativity, and success, okay? Depending on if it comes in the upright or in the reverse, and we will get to that as well. So, here okay, this card is the Magician in action, complete with magic wand and implements of his trade on the table before him, in the suits of the pentacles or coin, cup, sword, and wand, representing the four elements of earth, water, air, and fire. Not all of them. Not all of them. It just depends, but this one doesn't have any specific sign connected, no astrological sign attached to them, but they have planets that are attached to the other signs. So in retrospect, I suppose you could say that you could attach a sign, and I'm sure some readers do. I do not. The Magician for me does not have a sign, so I don't shout it out when I pull this card. Okay. The fifth element of ether. Okay, so there is another element that is not really discussed and really put out there like that. The mythological breath of the gods. The magician who once journeyed as the fool is now ready to manifest his desires by aligning spirit and matter. Okay. Oh, and we're going to count how many times I say okay, because the girl. As the conduit between earth and heaven, the magician stands for decisions and creativity. Okay, so everything that you're trying to create, everything that you're trying to manifest, everything that you're putting out into the universe and trying to wait for it to come back into fruition is your decisions and the creativity that is attached to those decisions. The roses and the lilies growing above and below him tell us that life can be beautiful when we commit to our passions. Okay, in the major arcana sequence, the magician comes after 0, the Fool. Although the magician can also be seen as the first card of the cycle, as some place the Fool after the World, okay? After the World, meaning that is when you have completed a cycle. So therefore, like I was explaining yesterday, that Fool is right there on the end of that closure saying, okay, now we need to begin again somewhere else, doing something else. The magician is a natural successor to the Fool as we move from 0, the cosmic egg, to 1, the individual. So once you've gained that knowledge and that understanding, you are now pretty much having that individuality, and you can kind of keep it moving forward, and you have your own kind of thought process. You've maintained knowledge on what it is that you need to be doing. So you're kind of good. The Fool's bundle contains the magician's 4 symbols ready to be activated. Like I was telling you yesterday, everything in that little bundle that the Fool carries has everything. Pentacles, wands, cups, swords, all of it are in his bundle. Okay. After the singular purpose, the magician, we meet to the high priestess, who introduces us to the duality of life, the now and the hereafter. Okay. So that's your little ditty so far on the magician. And it's went back to the Fool, and it is getting you ready for what is coming with the high priestess. Okay. The magician's number 1 is the first prime number, which stands for the primal energy, the individual, and the oneness with divine, spirit, or God. Okay. So for those that come in here and talk about spirit, or God, whichever you believe. Okay, so the magician's astrology. The magician's ruling planet is Mercury, also the Roman god of magic. Okay. The element could also be signified by the symbol of a snake shown on the magician's serpent's girdle. Wearing a girdle. Wow. So as you can see around his waist, he does indeed have, I would call that more of a belt, but whatever. So the upright meanings for the magician, it's time for action, for communicating and expressing your ideas and desires. So again, as we move through our journey, desires and wants and needs don't fall away. We just have a more a better understanding of how to separate our desires, our wants, and our needs. You know what I'm saying? This is the card of the inventor, the traveler, the self-employed, and the entrepreneur, as it beckons you to broaden your horizons. So looking for, wanting more, desiring more, and being able to open yourself up to different avenues to achieve what it is that you are actually wanting, okay? You will have the drive to spur your plans forward and perhaps to take new creative approaches, to think literally, ask questions, trust your internal guidance, and let go of procrastination. So when you're in the energy of the magician, it is you're manifesting, you are putting out what it is that you want in desire. So now is the time to take that action and to keep it moving. Blessed with a magic wand, you have the ability to transform whatever you choose. And in this way, the magician is a very positive card in a reading. He directs you to make the most of your skills and talents and step into your power. Okay, so this is another card that is really showcasing that you are in your power in what it is that you want, whether it's action and movement, because like I said, manifestation doesn't happen overnight. You can manifest something overnight, but you have to give source in the universe time to react to what it is that you want. And it is very important to maintain positivity. So when you are manifesting, it is very important that you do not continue to change what it says or what it is that you want in a specific situation, person, whatever. And then you have to maintain that positivity until those seeds start growing, and you have to wait for your blessings to come back in. It's not an overnight thing. Just because you manifest today doesn't mean tomorrow everything is going to come to you now. Everything is still set up in divine timing. So there is a process that you have to wait through. And if you keep changing what it is that you want and you start negative talking to yourself about what it is that you've requested, what it is that you want, it is going to slow that down. And trust and believe. Make no mistake, whatever you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. So if you start positive and turn it negative, you're going to get that negative back. It's not going to come to you in the way that you absolutely desire it to come. So you manifest it in a positive way, you let it go, and then you wait. Focus on your projects and capitalize on your personal strengths. Spirituality, the magician shows you connecting with your higher or true self and acting with pure intention. Intention with tarot is very, very important. If your intention is good, then everything is good. And it is just like anything else, okay? And people will come to me and say, But tarot and readings are not good. They're bad. They're the work of the devil. Well, no. If my intentions is to help and give guidance, and it's a pure, safe space that I'm coming from, then my intentions are good. So therefore, the work that I do with my cards and my casting and anything that I do, the intention is always positivity, strength, uplifting, love, and light. So everybody perceives that information different. What I am doing has good intentions. And it's the same thing when you yourself are manifesting, or if you're doing protection, or if you're casting, whatever it is that you want to be doing, there's a level of positivity and, you know, good intention that you're putting into it, because whatever intention you put into it, you're going to get it back. Okay. This card can also show a significant journey. Here are some other possibilities of what it can mean to you. So, like when people come and ask for a reading, it's normally about love, money, whatever. Okay. But here are some other ways that the magician can kind of bring himself into a situation: the home, relationships, career, and money. Okay. So it's broadened it, it's opened it up into these little brackets. Okay. If you pull, like, for home, if you're buying a home or whatever, okay, a house sale is completed, okay, or you decided it's time to move forward with remodeling plans. It's a sociable time with lots of visitors and entertaining. So this is you bringing people into your space. All right. Relationships, if you are single and want love, it's coming. If you are in a relationship, the magician shows love in action. So you will begin to see commitment. Communication between you is excellent, and you reach an even deeper understanding of each other's needs. Again, all of these cards work together. So if the magician were to come up next to the lovers, that is going to show deep commitment here and open communication and just fulfilling each other's needs and just really going with the flow of it. This card can also show you acting as one, as a joint project may be on the horizon too. Okay. Career and money. There will be new beginnings, either finding new employment or a new direction in your existing work. This card can also show inspired leadership from a grounded and enthusiastic individual. So all of this so far well, not necessarily grown up, but starting that, I would say, early adulthood kind of thing. Because the Fool is talking about the beginning and not really holding any kind of status or any kind of individuality. The Fool is all about gaining and maintaining and really trying to figure out desires, wants, and needs, and gaining the knowledge to move it forward. Once you have completed that part of it, you go into the magician, where you're ready to start manifesting and kind of having at least some grounding underneath you. Yeah, we could say teenage fool. You know, whatever. Okay, so the reverse meanings, this is one of the cards that has a more negative effect on a reading if it comes in to play into something that I am doing with someone I'm working with here. When the good magician is reversed, he turns trickster. So this card can show you being misled by a charming manipulator. So if the magician comes up, I'll tell you straight away, there is big manipulation going on here. Um, there's going to be big manipulation here, and it, what you see is not what you get, and it all shows not truth. So lies. Within that manipulation, whatever this person is saying is not really, justified, I guess. In your projects, the magician reverse can show a creative block as you feel torn between two paths or choice that get in the way of progress. So it's almost coming again with that overwhelmingness of it. Too much going on, too many different options, too many choices to pick. So it kind of just blocks any kind of progress. It's time to choose one option and commit to it fully. The reverse card can also reveal delays to travel plans, and miscommunications in general. So if the magician comes up in the reverse and you're asking about a connection between you and a person, and that magician comes in the reverse, I'm going to know right away that there is a lack of communication. And there's really not any kind of talking that are going on. And there's going to be delays and manipulation with why there's no communication at this time. Okay. His wisdom message, the message that you will always receive with the magician is manifest your desires, manifest what is important to you. Okay. Something, if somebody wants to open their own business or be an entrepreneur and do their own thing, you are going to do, even though you're doing the work, there's levels of manifesting because you're putting that out into the universe because it's what you want. So the more you talk, oh my God, I wish I could have this, or I really need to be doing this, and and you're brainstorming all of those things, all of that goes out into the universe, which is why it's so crucial and important that you maintain that positivity. Not like this, oh my God, I so want to do this, but I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I don't do da-da-da-da-da. None of that is going to help your cause, okay? Okay, so again, there are symbols that go with this card as well. The infinity symbol represents the balance, the activity, and the renewal, okay? So when you see this up here, that is representing balance, activity, and the renewal of what you have going on. The wand, we're going to just say that because there's the wand on the table, which is fire energy. But we're going to say that this is his wand up here that he's holding, is double-ended and reflects the concept as above, so below, or heaven or earth as mirrors. So it's the reflection of. So it depends. It's not necessarily talking about, as you can see, it's not talking about heaven and hell. It is talking about heaven and earth, because some believe that there's heaven, earth, and then hell, but it's mirroring. It's just representing the fact that it mirrors each other here. Yeah, well, or recharging or whatever. It's just that constant renewal, just that get up and go kind of feeling, that kind of energy there. The wand's symbolism reflects that of the magician's pose, okay? So how he's standing with his hand up, and he's letting you know that it's, the four suit symbols that are laying on the table here. These are the magician's resources. He draws upon the four elements of the suits to create Oh, right. These four are what create the fifth element. The where is that? The elixir. Right. So these four elements help him to be able to create the fifth element, the elixir. The red cloak represents energy and action, practal. Oh my God. We're just going to say practical, and then y'all can just put the rest of that shit together. And being grounded in the material world. The headband, the white headband up here, the mind and the intention of manifesting the desires. Yes, we know what I'm trying to say. I just can't say this shit. So he uses his headband to help him manifest what it is that he wants. Okay, so the magician and his pose, the way he's standing, the magician is the conduit of energy between earth, which he draws from with his downward left hand. Okay, his downward left hand here. And then the right one to the heavens, symbolized by his raised hand and wand. So as above, so below. We're going to mirror what is going on above in here and now kind of thing. The serpent, the belt around the magician's waist is a serpent, a symbol of the element of Mercury, the magician's ruling planet. To function as a belt, the serpent or snake must hold its tail in its mouth. This is the symbol of the Oreodox, which it stands for the infinity and the constant renewal, just as the snake continually sheds his skin. Okay, so there's your answer to that. The roses and the lilies up here and down on the bottom. The red roses symbolize love and the lilies, truth of purpose. The magician acts with pure intentions. So again, that goes back to making sure that your intentions and whatever it is that you are doing are good, so that you get the positive back and not the negative. The yellow background is clear sight and support and consciousness. So again, you'll see this on the Empress, the Fool, the Chariot, Strength, and Justice. And that is the consciousness and the clear sight of what it is that you kind of have going on. Okay, the historical magician, man and God. Historically, the magician has had many guises. In the 15th century tarot, he was a wealthy merchant seated at a table. By the 19th century, he was assigned him as a cobbler. By the 20th century, he had transformed into a Magnus, then a god. Most early trends show the magician seated at a table while a standing pose appears to have been, accepted. So something within the change over time has moved him from the sitting position to working and really kind of building what it is that he wants into this upright, and we're just going to mirror what it is kind of a situation, and we're going to have what is above here on earth as well, and we're going to combine the two. And that's why he kind of got that complex of God. See, some of this stuff is just really very random, and it's not going to help anybody understand any more than what it is, because then it starts going back into mythological stuff and all of that. Okay, the magician's reflections. Because the magician has all four suits represented on his table: cup, pentacle, sword, and wand. He can be seen as the ruler of the entire minor arcana, which is all your elements, all your cups, all your swords, all of them. He is the ruler of them because he is the one who started with them in his satchel. Now they're on his table, and now he holds everything. No, that's a whole different side of that. These are just the action and the movements, the main things that we go through. Okay. All of that, the kings, queens, all of that. The highest in this is the emperor and the empress. You can evolve from a king or a queen into the emperor or the empress, but you cannot evolve into a king with the magician. My belief. You have to get yourself to that status to where you have a reading and more than one queen shows up, or you, like if we do I don't know, monthly readings and each queen shows up, then I'm going to sit there and say, well, you have a spread now and you have all four queens out here. So now you are about to evolve into that empress phase kind of thing. His appearance in a reading can ask you to pay particular attention to the minors. So again, your lesser suits than the major, okay? Note which suits or elements they represent, as they will give you an instant overview of which life area is important now. So Sass, like you know how sometimes when we do readings for you and you'll have more of one suit than any, okay? Sometime, I think the last one we did, there was not a lot of cups in there. So there wasn't a lot of emotions in it. So that's not where the focus was. The focus was on whatever else was there, whether it was action or whether it was pentacles. So I can't remember offhand because I do a lot. So trying to remember and recall every single reading that I do for people, if I'm not taking good notes on it, I don't remember. So that just kind of means when you're doing a reading and whatever comes up most is kind of where your focus is or where it should be at in that moment. All right. So that concludes the magician. All right. So we have now done the full 0, and we have done number 1. And the next one will be the high priestess. And there's a lot of information on her. And this is where you find out that technically the high priestess is technically the first female pope that kind of cascaded as a male and kind of found out that she was a female because she gave birth on stage, kind of thing. But we'll get into all of that when it is her time. But yeah, the magician has a lot of good qualities to him, right? But when that manipulation comes out on its own, it's not as bad. But if you get these two cards together, or like the Ace of Swords, or not the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, any of that, it is like tenfold worse than what it is if just one of these were in the reverse by themselves. But we already kind of know that in the reverse, the Fool doesn't have very big negative, he just bit off too much. It's too much kind of thing. So that concludes that. But yeah, 12:30, probably not a good time. But either way, I'm getting it out there, so it's gonna make it easier for me so that people, if they have questions, look, go check it out. I mean, I'll go through and make little clips on the minors as well, because why not? Makes sense. But we are going to sit here. We're at least going to try and make this an hour. So we'll do that. Oh, what do you want? What do you want? Well, it didn't tag yesterday, so I don't know. When I went and looked, it wasn't on and I went and looked on yours and it wasn't tagged. So, figure it out. Like I said, if they don't like, I'll give the hour because I think that's proper. And then I have other things I need to do that I need to get posted up to. So, 'tis what it is. And I'm sure it's just going to be another day like it was yesterday and the day before and Christmas Day. So, not tripping too much. Just busy myself. So, is Savannah still with you? Nice. Very nice. I get it. We might try and go live later tonight and not make it be about this. We might just see what we see. But again, like so far, I think that 3-4 slot was probably the best. And the only other thing we can do, but with you sleeping better now, you're not going to make it for like 11, 12. I mean, why anybody would be doing that at that time, I don't know. So what are your plans for the rest of the day? No? Oh, great. Are you sending that junk up here? Fucking haste. Well, I should probably. When I get off here, I'll give my dad a call. And my nephew is home for Christmas and supposed to be going up by my parents. Boy, you better fix my computer, fix my laptop, get that shit dealt with. And I don't think my dad will send it, so that means I'll get to see him again. Well, I'm not sure what the weather was doing here this morning, so. Because I tried to go on Michaela's laptop to try to figure things out, and it will not, my stuff is not connected to hers, so it will not even allow me to go on and see everything else that they have there for me to do. So it's going to be a waiting game. And she doesn't want it to where she puts that on there. Just for a minute, she's going to have to go and completely wipe it out so that she doesn't get any information on it or notifications or anything like that. She doesn't want that. I'm like, girl, all you got on there is anime and school stuff. Like, what is my little piece of the world gonna mess up for you? I have a lot of stuff on there. Okay. So I'll get a hold of my nephew and tell him to go up to my parents early. Rebuild my motherboard, get it done. Because I need it. And while you're at it, rebuild my PC so I can have that too. When my dad came up the last time, when you spoke to him, he told me, he said, I was gonna bring it. He said, but you wouldn't have been able to use it because we gotta rebuild the inside again because now it's outdated. I'm like, well, what are you waiting for? Your chickens don't take up that much time. So any thoughts or anything that we need to be doing here? Because I need to, like I said, I need to make it a point to get the rest of them out because I've only done 2. So I need to be on it. I'm procrastinating because I get told things are going to happen that don't happen. So I just don't do it because I do other things. My sound has never been an issue, girl. People just like, I'm very calm when I do my tarot, so it's a very calming thing. So I have that going for me. Even with the cussing, which is going to be really, really hard for me to not do, but I'm aware of what that means for me. So if I continue, it's not going to be, I'm probably going to get the wrong people. So today, yes, but the okay, that's irritating. Because I guess okay just sounds better to me than every time I say something. Do you understand? Do you get it? I don't want to do that either. I think it did too. I think it did too. We'll see. We'll see if it replicates over in my everyday life. If I say okay a lot, then I really probably know that okay probably means like, you know, you or something. All right, well, we are almost at the hour. I mean, and then when I shut this down, it shows me stats and all that. So I'll see something. Then everything when this gets uploaded, everything that we discussed in here is wiped. Your conversation doesn't come up, so I'm literally just talking to myself. It's not funny. I mean, it is funny, but and I tried to tell him, yo, dude, make another account. You have the option to do so. Make another name, stick it, and see if that one works. But I use a lot of stuff. What you mean? A bronzer at this point, no. It's blush and that sparkly stuff. But we'll call it a glow. I had all that stuff with my business, but maybe I'll revisit it. Maybe I won't. It's not really something that I was hard up for, but well, blush. Okay, being that we're older women, okay, and a lot of things are starting to kind of change and things are kind of going a little south. It is important. So back in the 80s, 90s, the blush would always go from here to here, or it would be the apple, whatever. Now it's more here, and you bring it and you blend it up because it almost gives you like a lift. So you do all that. And if you suffer with hooded eyes, glittery stuff on your eyes is not going to help your situation. But yeah, anything that you put on your cheek, you blend it into your hairline. So it'll give you that look of lift. Your bronzers and stuff normally go around here to cause a shadow. to thin you out. Now, my personal opinion of this is I don't give a shit if you think my face is fat and you don't want to look at me. Don't look at me. Don't be here. I ain't changing that for you. Personal thing. But compared to a lot of heavies on here, I mean, you can, I have a throat and a neck and shoulders. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need to do all the cutting. I mean, but at the end of the day, makeup is just another creative outlet. You do what you want. And some people appreciate it and some people don't. But I don't care. Well, do you have any pressing question, Sassy? Yeah, that's why I was asking. Well, you have Sagittarius and the devil showing up. Temperance and the devil. Path needs to be picked here, Sassy. But you're holding on to something about the specific path that you're on right now, not really wanting to change it up by the looks of it. And there's been a pause put on a wish fulfilled coming in for you. Why is that? Yeah? Well, only you can make that decision. Sassy. Nine of Cups in reverse. Devil still showing itself. So, okay. Oh my God. Okay. Well, here you go. Here's your new path or a decision to make a new path. But at the bottom of the deck, it starts with the devil, the 10 of swords, and the Five of Cups. And then followed by the Five of Cups is the Two of Wands. So yeah, the want and the desire to have something new is there. But with these three cards being that underlining energy here, okay, so as above, so below kind of thing. Whatever this is, whatever you have going on is extremely toxic here. And I don't think, yes. I don't believe you're aware of extremely how toxic this really is, whatever it is. But like I said, while shuffling, I saw, the Sagittarius card with the devil. So I don't think you're aware that it's toxic or that it is brought through because one of you is addicted to the other. There's an obsession here, an obsession to make something work that is not going to work. It's just not. And there is regret here that this most probably won't work out. And you're going to miss the connection that you have with this person, but it's not gelling. It's not jamming. But then you get the Nine of Cups in the reverse. So there's a wish fulfilled here. It's not coming in the way that you expected. Why? Because when you put that wish out into the universe, you couldn't leave it alone. You didn't manifest properly. So now the universe gave you back exactly what you asked for, just with its rendition of the negative self-talk that you got in there, because you want 50-50 and you're being strung along. You're being strung along in this situation. And by the looks of it, it's because there's another person that is involved that is getting this time. Now, I ain't clarifying any of this, and I'm not going to make it into this big thing. We'll do that elsewhere. Just that there's some sort of giving time to something else, someone else. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a third party. It could be a child. It could be a family member, whatever the case is. But you want 50-50, and right now you're feeling strung along, which is making you feel like this wish fulfilled is not what you asked for. But it is, but you let negative get in there. So it kind of changed how it came back to you. You got your clarification here, and you got that clarity, but now you're a little cold and detached from the situation. And why are you cold and detached from the situation? Because it's toxic, and you're starting to figure that out, and it probably needs to end, no matter how much regret that you're going to have about doing it, but it's going to push you onto that new path that you want. Well, and that truth is going to come in. It's coming right towards you, whatever this truth is. And there's that Three of Wands that's coming right behind it. It's going to give you all the want and the desire to move things forward here. But again, you have that desirable pause here that keeps getting put on here. I don't know if this is you pausing the situation or if it's them pausing the situation, but there's always a pause here. Always. causes you anxiety, whatever this situation is. It causes you mad anxiety. All right, so there you go. We made it to the 1 hour mark. So I suppose I will call it as it is. I will let you know. You're welcome. Always welcome. I will let you know if I decide to go later tonight. I don't know what time it would be. I would assume we'll probably try, if we did, it would probably be like 5. Just to get some. Right now we're just doing leg work to see when the best time is. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do for now. And I'll probably take a minute to try and get, depending on how much charge on my phone has gone, I might just go ahead and start those right away. Get them started to get posted up. But for now, I bid you adieu, and I will see you in the next.